What's up, everybody? I haven't made a video in a while. In this whole pandemic world that we live in. But as you can imagine, a lot's been going on. I've kind of just been sitting back and observing it all, from the onset of the pandemic to the civil unrest that's been going on, to the political stuff that's still been going on in the background, and just the awakening, and some of the great awakenings that's been happening. And some of it's been great, some of it's been, you shake your head at and say we're doomed as a people. Some of it is, you're still in wait and see mode because you really just truly don't understand it all. And that's kind of where we are right now. Just everything happening so fast, everything is constant. It's a constant whirlwind, and at times it can be exhausting. So trying to get kids back in school, sports starting back up, and trying to be safe about our everyday lives, and still combating people who either believe this thing or don't believe this thing. You got people in the middle who kind of just unsure, but I'll be safe just to be, it's a crazy time. It's a crazy time we live in, man. And but in the words of Bane, we will endure. I like that movie. I like Bane's voice, and it trips me out. But anyway, what motivated me to make this video now is, with the, I'm heavy into politics. If you watch my videos before, I've explained that. And Joe Biden has selected Kamala Harris as his running mate. Great, cool, fine and dandy. Personally, I liked her in the beginning of the Democratic primary. She was one of my early favorites. I got concerned when she waffled on the healthcare thing. I'm a proponent for Medicare for all, universal healthcare, whatever you want to call it, because healthcare is stupid expensive, and that's one. And then the primarily have it attached to your job is a bit ridiculous too, because you change, it may keep you at a job longer than you want to, or you can get fired and now you don't have healthcare. But that's a whole nother discussion for another day. My gripe with the Kamala Harris picking is how we just went through the Black Lives Matter thing. Okay, and now we get a woman of color, elevated to being the vice presidential pick on the ticket. Take politics out of it. We can dissect stuff politically. There's some pros, there's some cons, most definitely. There's some things that are definitely ambiguous. My gripe has been how people have been, our black people have been ready to tear her down. She's not black enough. She has a Jamaican father. So, and I saw somebody argue that Jamaicans don't identify as black, and she had an Indian mother, and she's a hodgepodge of all different type of ethnicities. She's a person of color. No matter what that mixture is, she's a person of color. And this is a monumental moment for people of color. And if you vote one way or the other, but if the goal is to not re-elect Donald, I saw somebody say Joe Biden could have announced a lamp for his VP. That made me laugh, because I just imagine you standing there holding a lamp and it got the little string that turned the light on. That made me laugh when I saw that. But why do we do that to each other? Whether, and not only with the Kamala Harris thing, but with the Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion thing, with everything Beyonce do, with, and you know what the common thread of that is? We tear down women. Women are torn down the fastest. Is there any perfect woman? Because we have some trash ass men out here. Future and Bootsy and the baby and what's the Kevin Gates and R. Kelly. I love me some R. Kelly, but R. Kelly, we have some trash men out here, and but we don't nitpick men like we do women. You know, with the Cardi being mad, why people so pressed about a song? If you don't like it, don't like it. Don't listen to it. You know, nobody has your head pinned down on a concrete sidewalk with a stereo next to your ear, blasting it on repeat for 7 hours straight. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. You gave it a try. It's not for you. That's fine. You know, if you grew up in the area I grew up with, Uncle Luke and Trick Daddy and Tupac and Snoop Dogg and all them other dudes who talked about women the same way, but I guess women can't talk about themselves that way. I don't understand the logic. But if you don't like it, don't listen to it. You're at liberty to turn your radio off or not put it on your download list or take it off your streaming channels or however that stuff work. Don't listen to it. Now back to the Kamala Harris thing. Nobody's saying you got to agree with policy-wise, you know, but some of the attacks have just been on a superficial baseline level. You know, questioning how black she really is. And it's not even just about being black. She's a person of color. That's monumental no matter what way you slice it. Being a person of color. You know, and we meet each other with such suspicion, right? If I could raise my eyebrow, raised eyebrows, side eyes. We do that to each other first. And it's almost to a point where outside groups don't have to do it. Because we will convince ourselves that they're not good enough before anybody say anything about them. I'm not saying blindly defend somebody who's a terrible person, because that's how you get Donald Trump. But I'm not saying to just blindly defend somebody, you know, because they're on your team or, you know, but tell me, especially when you don't really pay attention to what's going on around you. You have a comment for everything. You have an opinion on everything. You have an opinion on everything that you have no knowledge of. And it's ridiculous. We got to stop tearing each other down just on a basis of not being black enough. That's ridiculous. We got to stop doing that. Stop tearing ourselves down before anybody else even have a chance to. It's ridiculous. She went to HBCU. She's an AKA. Come on, man. Woman. Person. Let's get it together. Stop tearing each other down. It's ridiculous. I never hear a white person say they ain't white enough. I never hear a Chinese person say they ain't Chinese enough. They're not Asian enough. They're not, you know, Latin American. They're not Latin American enough. Native American. They're not Native American enough. Now you can argue if somebody may not have your best interest at heart based on their policy, but that goes into a policy discussion. But we still stuck on. She ain't black. And she married to a white dude. Most of your favorite actors and athletes are married to white girls. But you still gonna hang they post up on the wall. You still gonna rock their jersey. You still gonna watch their movies. Again, the common thread is typically we're harsher on women than we are on men. And that stuff gotta stop.